All right, team. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Hopefully you got off the charts, did some things that make you feel good. Okay, make sure you're coming to the charts today with that right energy, that you're prepared, that you've had a break, that you're rested, and that you've gone through your pre-market prep. All right, let's get into it then. Zooming in on the daily. All right, this is the daily. You can see we're still in this giant channel. Anyone who got the newsletter, this is just the profile from the year. So we can see these sort of key nodes starting to develop up high right now that we're so far protecting around, guess what? The 800s, all right, around the 800s. But beyond that, we're bullish, aren't we? Multi-time frame bullish today, which is fantastic, right? We've broken out, pulled back, held, retested, held, sellers failed to rotate again. Same story on Friday, held, and where are we going? Well, top side of the trend, top side of the Bollinger, and this is the level we were looking at in the weekly newsletter. Sort of 400, 440s, anywhere up into there for the extension would be great, and we can also think about that as part of a fib. All right, and we have Confluence up here. All right, so this is where the market's trying to get up to at the moment, into the, sort of these 400s. That's, if you're already long overnight, that's where you're looking to hold your runners for, if you're best, especially if you swing long for Monday, Tuesday this week, but we'll see. So that's key, isn't it? We're moving higher. We're not looking to fade the tops. We're not looking to guess the tops. We're moving higher off that AMD move. Maybe we get a blow off when we get up here or an overextension, and then we can see what's what. But really and truly, until we get a breakdown underneath here, we're not really thinking for that short back down to these levels to clean it up. All right, so the battle will be around those sort of 940s, 950s, 900s. Fail that, we come down to these mean reversion. Fail that, we clean out this, fill this gap, and then maybe rotate. All right, but until then, all the time we're above these, the momentum's very clearly upside. Okay, very clearly upside. Let's have a look at the hourlies, and we can get a bit more finer detail in here. All right, so just stick with me in here. I'm going to get rid of this so it's a little bit cleaner for you. All right, so if you need to anecdote these levels from previous day and previous week, please do that now. But they're all in that weekly newsletter for you. All right, so you can see yet again on Friday, right, into Friday afternoon, we had that big sell. Now, you would have heard me say on stream that I did not feel comfortable on Friday taking the long. Something felt big time off. We were just grinding up on very low volume, very low ATR, which was this move here. And I was right. It was like a Nostradamus. I was right. It just, you could smell a rat in the room on Friday, and there it came. So there's the big puke. Fortunately, I managed to get back to my desk to get about 100 points out of that. So we had that. All right, we swept the internal, but the key thing is right here. Did we break down underneath these levels? All right, underneath this structure that we built? No, we didn't. So sellers, yet again, failed to take control. This was nothing more than some profit taking. Sellers had the opportunity here to come and dig down into here, and if they really wanted to go ballistic, come down into here. They haven't been able to do it. This is the same story since March, folks, all right? Sellers cannot take control of this market. They might have a sell for a matter of hours, maybe a day if they're lucky, but they're not breaking down under the key levels. And anytime they have, those key levels have been reclaimed very, very quickly. So it's worth noting that. Failed breakdown again on Friday, reclaim. Here's your quasi. If you played this morning, I wasn't at my desk. That's a very simple long, isn't it? There's your sweep. There's the reclaim. There's the long. You even have this trigger through previous day value area high. All right, there's your trigger. All right, so new all-time highs on NQ. We have divergence to ES, by the way, which has not had this same strength here this morning. It's not at all-time highs. So what are we waiting for? Well, really, this morning, you're either looking for a build-out of liquidity very high for a continuation higher, right? That would make it super easy. Not the best location, but fantastic momentum. So if they build out here and they want to drive higher, then your TP1 is current all-time high from overnight, and then your runners to try and get into 400s. If they offer a deeper pullback here this morning, then you'd be watching what? Previous day value area high. We have a build out of liquidity here overnight. All right, and then if we drive beneath this, if we get stuck beneath this, so you're looking for something like this. If we fail under here, it is possible we come and back test what? Probably the previous week and previous day level. So previous week value area low, point of control, previous day value area low. Maybe something back into here where we found bids. At the moment, I'm going to say I find that somewhat unlikely given that the momentum in the chart, but it's very possible. And even down here, if you're going to take this short from previous day value area high failure for rotation, that's fine. That's a legit setup. Just remember, all it is a rotational short. It is not a pro trend short. This is not telling you, hey, we're going to make new lows down here. All right, maybe it happens. Maybe you get lucky and it keeps selling off and you can hold a run all the way down. Maybe you get lucky. But more probable, all right, would be that it's a rotation for buyers to step back in, because this very much looks like a bit of a range to me. That looks like a failed breakout. And if this failed to break out, maybe from here they rotate and they bid back up. We're not pro trend short, like I said, until we start getting stuck under the range for a deeper move down. And at the moment, things can change. That seems somewhat unlikely. So I want to focus either this move, or if we really come down here and then find a bottom, this move. I will be open to a short rotation from here or here to here, possibly for a scalp, but nothing more than that, folks. All right, nothing more than that. You can see it even cleaner up here. It makes sense. Asia went sideways. All right, this is Friday. Asia sideways. London rechecks Asia's low. This is a big level now into this 2540s, reclaims, and we go. All right, so either we base here or we base here. Failure under here will open up this move into here and then back up, I would imagine, unless we go risk off and there's some huge news or something. News to be aware of today. Obviously, the government shutdown. All right, that sounds like it's going to be longer than expected at the moment, so we just have to see. Lower time frame. All right, you have the drive up. We can do a little chart here. Volume, where are you? All right, so you can see the overnight levels. You can see right in here, this is your RBS level. All right, this is the old all-time high. Resistance, we break through, becomes support. Right, we're waiting to see if they want to do this move here. If they fail this, it's very possible that we come down to here. Gap fill is very, very far away right now. So for me, it feels somewhat unlikely because this move here swept a lot out. Maybe into here is possible. I've got a feeling we're going to leave this open unless something massively changes, but you know, I'll be open to that thought. I'll be open. Like I said, be careful with ES. All right, you have relative weakness. Look, very, very different charts. All right, so the divergence rearing its ugly head. All right, so NQ is well above this. Come back into try and base right now. All right, ES ranging up here. This is probably like a 61 fib or something where it's got stuck. Let's have a little look. If it wants to play ball. Yeah, in that golden zone fib where it's stuck at the moment. So you have weakness in ES. If you're an ES trader, you have weakness over there. Harder long so far this morning. Let's have a look at the VIX. Move this to a 5 minute. Still in that range. All right, nothing's changed. VIX still stuck in this range here. I'd say this is your range right here. This is your failure. This is your failure. This is the chop zone. All right, so you'd be watching for VIX. If it starts breaking out above 17s, and definitely if it gets above these 1775s, then we'll risk off. If the VIX starts getting stuck under 16s, gets stuck under 16s yet on the VIX, then we'll probably be risk on the ES. All right, so nothing's changed there. Same plays as we looked at last week. Let's go through the MAG. All right, Apple gapping up. Remember, I'm still looking for that all-time high breakout on Apple. All right, those who have been here in the channel, you will know I am long Apple, I'm long AMD, and I'm long PayPal right now, and some Etsy and maybe a few other bits. So Apple starting to look better for me. If we zoom out, I'm looking for the high, all-time high breakout. That's all I want, 260, and let's get going. All right, swing long in this from 202s. Swing long from 202s. So Apple looks good. Pulled back, holding its gap so far. I want to see that breakout soon because it's been up here a long time now. Haven't taken any profit yet. Amazon, that is gapping up, but doesn't look the best chart here, does it? This is just in a range, looks a bit like the VIX. All right, failed breakout each side. Let's zoom out of here. Yes, very much stuck in a range. You want to be careful here, because if it builds up too much liquidity and doesn't reclaim these 230s, right, then it's opening itself up for a rewash of the lows. So careful there on Amazon. Goog, slight gap down here in Goog. Let's zoom out, see where we're at. All right, what would I want to see in Goog? I want this to be a two-leg pullback, which finishes now. All right, if we're going to continue higher, we want to see that turn around and go now on Goog. Simple as that. You can see where I'm looking for it to come for, if it's going to pick me up. And it's not going to look to do that right now. What are we doing? Slight gap down in Goog, but looks okay. We're just trading inside from Tuesday. So if we go previous week range, and then where's this? Thursday, Friday. So we're trading, this is a third day inside this range. So a rotational market in Goog, no breakout to the upside, no continuation downside yet. So not much to do there until we get some notification of a breakout. Microsoft, this looks better. This chart looks better, still making higher highs, higher lows. Let's zoom out a little bit here. You can see it's trying to do, it's like in the stage that you want Goog and Amazon in. It's trying to build this one here after finishing Uno, Dos, and then coming round. So that looks a little bit better. Again, probably inside a range here from sort of Thursday. Yeah, so Thursday's range, Friday's range. We're opening up Monday inside that range. So not too much to do there. Nvidia, okay, Nvidia getting slapped here after breaking out. Why? AMD. AMD had massive news this morning with OpenAI AI. Fantastic for me. I'm up 38% in my commons. If you took that with me, or you took leaps, you should be up probably over 100%, which is fantastic. I know some of you took it in the room with me. And this can afford a pullback, and it's nothing more than a pullback in Nvidia. All right, here's your RBS level, and here's the next zone. So there's your big breakout. There's the pullback in. We want to see if they absorb this to continue to go higher. It's just got a little bit soft because we had a bit of a rotation into AMD. That's all. Nothing more than that. Tesla. All right, huge breakout on Thursday, giving the whole thing back into range. This is starting to look a little bit dangerous. If Tesla cannot reclaim 45s and 50s and get going back upside, I'd be very careful. If it rotates here for a few days and cannot get above this level, then we're basically building out a neckline, and I'd imagine it's got some decent room down. Yeah, very decent room down, because these are pretty thin moves, I would imagine. So it's got to hold 407s, otherwise you're right back to 350s real quick after a bit of a blow off. This looks a bit more like a blow off here, especially on that volume, so we want to be careful on Tesla. And then let's have a look. This is the one that's made me a happy man. Hey, knew it was coming. You could see it developing in the daily chart. You could see this developing right here. Here's the pattern Alex loves to play. All right, long from 60s in here. Once we reclaimed, and we are gone. All right, we are absolutely gone. Fantastic. That's what we like. These are the plays we look for. All right, so we're looking good in some of these swings. PayPal also starting to get going. So I want to see PayPal really start driving this quarter back up here, ideally. And we've got some gap fill to do in here, and then plenty of room in the next 6 months plus to try and get up for a gap fill into here, 150s. We'll see. I'm in this for a big hold long term. We'll see. We'll see if we get a run up into earnings. All right, folks, that should have you covered. So you know what we're looking for. We're about to open up here. We're bullish. Sentiment is bullish. We've gone over the pathing, the pullbacks I'm looking for, the ones I'm interested in today, and let's see what we get. I'm not going to have time to go through all the good mornings today, but good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. Make sure you slap that like button nice and early. All right, let's get it up to over 100 nice and early. Lots of you watching here. There you go. Nathan up 105% on AMD. Fantastic. Aga S also up big on those. I know Aga took 175 calls. Nice work, folks. Nice work. I'm just going to let this settle down. I want to see if we can get a pullback and where we pull back into. Bit of a mixed bag on the mags so far. Tesla up big. Let me just turn this down a bit. It's a little bright in my eyes there. Tesla up big here, 2.32% this morning. Nvidia down 1%, but as we said, into an RBS level. Microsoft 0.25% up, Google 0.11% down, so pretty much flat. Amazon pretty much flat, Apple 0.12% down, pretty much flat. So we're just going to let this market calm down and see if it wants to pick up a bid. I'm watching PDH here on QQQ on the cash market. We haven't really talked about the book, but the book looks good. All right, looks good up here. I'd want to see, are we going to come a little bit deeper, or are we just going to hold this RBS zone to start off the day? Would love a deeper drive. I mean, it would be nice if we could get a bit of profit taking in a deeper drive. It'd be great. Trapping some bears, then we can think about that long. Let me get my anchor on here. Did any of you get long overnight? Any of you trade London or Asia session? Hopefully some of you did. Nice easy plays long if you did. All right, VIX coming in for gap fill. It's trading back down to PDC at the moment. Nice, Peter. Yeah, all you London traders should be up very, very nice today. All right, really nice play. Retested the edge of the range in Asia, broke out, reclaimed your EMAs, straight through the RBS zone, and straight through previous day value area high for a big old extension. Beautiful move. Yeah, nice, Jacob. Good work. All right, here we go, team. Let's see if we can drift a bit lower here. I'm interested in this kind of area down here. We can get into that for some potential bids. I've got to move this light. It's slightly the wrong angle, so I can't see my screen. That's a bit better, I think. Yes, way better. All right, here we go. Come on, down you come. Down you come. I want to see you trade into like these low 100s, somewhere around there would be ideal, and see what we do. And if it wants to dig deeper, it can dig deeper. So Nvidia driving this sell right now. Remember, we are overextended. We did push quite large away. Not in this short. I could have predicted this short quite easily, but I just want to see if we come down and do a bit of a gut check to some of these key levels. So 109s, 110s, lower time frame algo here. Right here, starting to sell off through its VWAPs. VIX finding a bid in front of PDC. I want this to just keep coming down a little bit, just because it's going to give us a much better buy opportunity. There are some bids here in front of that 150 level. It's not ideal though. We want it to come much, much lower if possible. They're bidding the 150s. Okay. They're not messing around there. That's a big bid. Let's see if they can do a lower high, lower low down into the 100s. If not, they're going to go reclaim, and we can think about that New York Open. Zoom this in a bit here for you folks. All right, I really want it to come back for here. So what I'd love to see at the moment, I don't want to see them. I want this lower high, lower low, somewhere in here, and see if they want to trap down here or down here. Gap fills all the way down here. Sorry, nice and loud. So again, focused on the longs for me if possible. Not convinced we're going to gap fill today. I think the market feels a bit too strong this morning, but hey, if I get it wrong, I get it wrong. Let's get those likes going, please, folks. 160 plus of you in here. Only 40 of you have smashed that like button. Doesn't cost you anything. Smash that like button for me. It helps me out, helps the stream out. It means I can give away more things like free accounts, free education. All right, ES into, is that an anchor? New York session cash, okay. Lots of bids down here. You can see it on the tape above me, 150 to 137. Let's see if there's anyone below into those 100s. Not really. Not really. So at the moment, this feels like an area that they're trying to protect. I still want lower. Not in the short, folks, all right? If you took that short, it looks good right now. 85s. You're already up 20 plus points. I want it in here. Really want it in here if possible. They might not offer it to me, but that's what I'm looking for. I want the long down there. So back to this New York VWAP. If we start reclaiming this, we'll probably go back for a gut check of those 214s, 215s where we opened. So if we fail here, then we're going to leave all these overnight buyers so far above. All right, so just think about this. So far, you've got everyone who participated here. Well, we can do that a bit better. Here is currently underwater. All right, these are buyers. They're stuck. All right, so why you want lower high, lower low, and then I want to buy down here cheap and retest this, and then if we base, go for new highs. That would be ideal for me. If we reclaim this, then we probably go all the way back up because this might be a leg 1, leg 2, and then go. So if you want, you can get short side versus these VWAPs. Not a trade that I'm looking to take because it's not pro trend. I want to focus on the pro trend trade. I think it's going to be easier trade. If we start reclaiming this, we will go and test that New York Open, I would imagine. Okay. Apple now 0.25% down. Amazon 0.85% down. Nvidia's trying to close its gap a bit. It was 2% down, now just 1.15% down. And Tesla's driving hard. All right, this is your gut check of where we just failed from. They start reclaiming this. It would not surprise me to get that New York Open retest. If they fail this level here, then you might get that lower high, lower low. Again, I'm still waiting for cheaper. I would ideally like to see cheaper. If we get through this and we base, then I'm going to be forced to play long up here. But ideally, we can come a bit lower first. Not focused on the shorts today, folks. It's a bit like Friday last week. Well, no, it's not. Is it Thursday last week? Can't remember. One of those days last week, I did not want the shorts when it was obvious. I wanted to wait for the longs. This is coming back into previous week high. That's the old all-time high. And if we squeeze through here, you're probably going to see that New York Open. ES into its VWAPs. So big over-under level this. Actually going to get rid of this. Don't need that now. Traded through it too many times. Come on, please come lower first. I want a nice cheap long. I really want to be paying up here. Ideally. I need to secure some of AMD. I'm going to try to hold on to AMD, you know. I don't think we've got plenty of room. Okay, great. Maybe we're going to get this lower high, lower low now. Perfect. So if you took this short, it makes sense. All right, never reclaimed, made sense versus previous week high, old all-time high. Here's your VWAP. Here's lower time from algo, VWAP. These are all cover points for you. All right, so if you took that short, cover, 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 and you can hold. If you get lucky, you get right down here. This is your gap fill. All right, so this is basically your opening gap. Huge opening gap in the New York session. So if we get lucky, we trade all the way down, or you do. I'm not trading the short. If you get lucky, you trade down into here, but you can be, you know, you should be up nice even if you took this break here. 78s. It's good money already. 30 points, and you can see if you can get down into here. I'm going to wait for the long, like I've talked about. I'm waiting for that long. Nice, Nihao. Yeah, it makes sense. The short makes sense there. It makes sense there. to VWAP. So a little bit of a battle here. You can see there's liquidity here, 140s. You know, another 5 minutes or 4 minutes until your opening range. There's a battleground here. That's why it's important to take these partials. Lower time frame algo, VWAP, big levels. We're stuck between New York VWAP and 24-hour VWAP right now. ES is comfortably below both right now, but it's trading into a big demand zone. SPY, out of the two, obviously SPY looks much more likely that it might want to do a gap fill. NQ's got massive relative strength right now. Trying to be patient, let this come down to a level of interest for me. Yeah, you're same as me, Peter, not playing that counter trend short. Yeah, same as me. Just waiting for that long to come in, if it will come in. Trading views acting up again, is it? Oh, so far so good for me, but thank you for letting me know. Luminous Blank, thanks for letting me know. So far so good. Haven't had an issue yet, and it seems that book map seems to be okay today. I did email them yesterday because at the open yesterday I had no book map again. I emailed them and they said they couldn't see the problem, but it seems okay. So Google going red now. So Nvidia, Google, Amazon, and Apple all red. Microsoft 1% up. Tesla 3.40% up. Nice strong start. Oracle up big. AMD up big. Neo holding on. PayPal up, coming up 0.40%. Looking good. IREN, oh, that thing just will not pick me up in the longs. It's gone. It's absolutely gone. I did start some long positions last week in some of the health names as well, just a heads up. I think they're due some relief soon, especially if Trump signs some of these bills. Come on, come down a little bit further, market. Obviously, this would be a nice level down into here, because if we think about the value we created on Friday, it was here. So if we can come down into this and hold previous day's value, that would be great. Otherwise, we're going to trade inside this range. I don't really want to bid off inside that range. I'd probably have to wait for the other side of the extreme, but we'll see. So coming into that previous day value area high now, this is coming into some of those levels of interest I have. And if we can't hold here, remember we've got those Globex lows. There's like a dual Globex low. That's straight into that previous day value area high here. I mean, straight into it. Big sell, big volume coming. This will be a big level of interest. Remember, the lots of buyers, I would imagine higher time frame, will want to step in around here. And if they don't get their way and they step in and we keep flushing, then there's lots of room lower, because this is all overnight. All this structure is from overnight right now. Make sure I've got these in the right levels. 540. Why can't I see them on my charts? I don't think I do. Okay. Previous week value area low. 25. 40. Sorry, folks. I've got to get this done. 25. 40. Previous week control 24. 80. That's the wrong way around. That's got to be. What an absolute idiot. What a wally. There we go. Okay, see, you can see those dip buys coming in like we just talked about. All right, I've feathered in a little bit here. Let's see if we can get through VWAP. Reclaiming VWAP. All right, moving my stop up now. We can reflush here because we've not retested the low. I've just got a little piece on just in case we want to bid off that level. We did just talk about it. Nice. So taking some off here into that lower time frame algo while they battle. I've got to sort these levels out on my Ninja Trader. They're all wrong. All right. Previous week value very high. 25,050s or 40s, I think it was supposed to be. No. No, no, no. Somewhere here. And previous week value area low is at 24,732. Still looks good here. Make sure you're paying yourself if you're playing this trend because it can fail. 24, what did I just say? Can't remember. 24,732. Sorry, folks, my brain is already tired. There we go. And then point of control is 24,837. 24,837. There we go. All right. No shorts for me. I'm not taking shorts today. Made that as about as clear as I could make today. Not interested in the shorts at all. Okay, here you go. Off to the races. Off to the races. So far, they're protecting that old value we talked about. This is why I wanted to stay focused on the longs. Lovely. All right, another TP here into this VU up. Ideally, you want to see some pullback come in and hold the 50s now, if possible. Are you going to let us put some more size in here? Or are you just going to go straight up now? Ideally, want to see some pullback come in and hold 50s if it's going to be kind. Are you going to be kind, though, market? Are you going to be kind, market? You'd want it to hold 50s, though. Don't want to see it trade under 50. Under 50s, I would imagine we get expansion lower. So if I'm going to size into this, and I need to see a little pullback here, a hold of 50s, and then a push higher. And 60s, come on. Come on. Come on, mate. Is that all you got for me? Come on, mate. Be nice. So it's the edge of your orb now. So we're basically trading in the middle of the orb. We want to see this pullback, hold, and then we can go back up. All right. So looking to see some kind of pullback and a hold for me to get any more in. I need to see this. All right. Failure of this, I won't take long because then I think we come back down into this zone. So I want to see a reaction here. Here comes the 50s. All right. Can we get a reaction here? Do buyers want to step in here and drive us higher? They're trying. Let's see. You might say it's early. It is early versus the flow zones, I know, but it's just based on that higher time frame structure right now. Looking good. Fantastic. Right, want to see expansion higher, ideally on this candle. Don't really want to wait for the next candle. Ideally want this candle to start going. Who's this seller who's just walked down here? Mr. 87, Mr. 187's watching him carefully. What we doing? What we doing? What we doing? Can you do it? Need ES to start reclaiming that low volume node and view up. Here we go. This is what we're looking for. Go, 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 go now, please. You've done the job. Up you go. Get your ass up. Get your ass through this seller up here. Where's he gone? 87s. We want to trade through 87s. Straight up into him. Come on, baby. Be kind. Be kind on a Monday, market. No, I called the short for you. I told you where I would get short and why I would get short, but I also told you I'm not going to trade it. That was the short down into this area. I've got a small piece on here. I want to add in here for this. If it fails under this, I'm not going to hold. Right, that's what I'm looking for. It's as simple as that. If it doesn't give that, I want this to go because I want to get back above these flow zones so we can use them to get back into that New York Open. If it doesn't want to go for me, that's fine. I'll just take it off and we'll just wait to see if we would retest here or come back into value. At the moment, I think we look good. probably caught some delta offside here by the looks of it. Look at this big volume candle. Right, look at that volume. And we didn't move lower. So all the time we protect this, this is what I'm looking for. If we fail this, risk off, take it off. So if they fail this now, I'll be out. They've got to hold this level. Dancing around those 50s still. One of the big problems is ES is failing New York view up. Took the short and then the long. Nice. Nice, Richard. ES coming back into lower day. So that weakness in ES starting to really drag a little bit. I'm going to take this off here. Can always re-enter. Can always re-enter. Did lock in some on the move up. So up about 500 on that. Was hoping I could size in and get a bigger move. I had to take the rest off. Let's just wait now. Like I said, if it can't hold, we have to respect it. Yes, made a new low of day there. Check that liquidity on ES. Oh, it's all the liquidity on ES is lower. That's not ideal. ES might want to trade those 750s by the look of it. That's very, very, very deep. Really? That's really not going to help us out for an upside move. Still looking at the same things. If it resets up again, I'll take it again. Give you a little readout on the mag. Tesla 2.5% up, Nvidia 0.88% down, Microsoft 1.24% up, Google 0.21% up, Amazon just under 1% down, Apple 0.76% down. So a mixed bag. AMD holding its gains pretty well. It's given back a little bit, but I'm happy to hold this. They're trying to get back through. They can't get it now. Here's your channel. So far, lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. I always remember long here, trying to add in here, failed, so out now. If we can do this, this is the area here. If we get through that, we get going. Otherwise, we can come and gut check this Globex level and gap fill is down here if they're going to stay short on this. It's hard for me to want to short this right now, honestly. We're still above, remember, the previous day's value, right? All the structure from the Friday was made in here. All the structure from the previous week was made in here. We're gapping up. This feels like a pullback to get long to me until it proves otherwise, which is why I'm trying to stay focused on the longs. But ES does have relative weakness here. Been quite efficient here, the market so far. Yes, trying to make a new low. So sales are in control in this New York session so far. New hourly candle, remember, coming in about 5 minutes. We're still trading inside that opening range. We're still trading above the previous day's value. New lower day there, ES. So SPY, like I said, out of the two, SPY looks way more likely to close its gap. That would be a trade on the ETFs into 669.20. On ES, that would be a trade into 764s. 764s. Thank you. Okay, new low day ES. Yeah, same, Peter. I'm just waiting. A small trade for me so far. I was really hoping that got going out of here, that move, but I locked in some good money, tried to size in again, took the break even on the size in, and just wait now. I knew it was early, but I sort of, just because of how we've played recently, I was concerned we were going to go straight away without me. So it was long, add, no confirmation, off. Or add here, was it? No confirmation, off. I don't know. Somewhere around here. It might have been this dip in here. Yeah, that dip there. And then my average was like moved to there and then took it off break even. And we're building out though. This is bullish liquidity we're building here. Just need ES to find a bid. Just wonder if it wants to gap fill first on ES by the looks of it at the moment. Three minutes until that new H1 candle, folks. We're traded right into the 21 on the H1. Oh man, I've got these, moved these wrong. God damn it. There we go. What's this? 40s. Previous week. I'm having a nightmare. 25,963. My brain cannot get in gear here. 24,963, 963. There we go. 2540. I'll get there eventually. 2540s. There we go. All right, we're trying to find a bid here. You can see we're just building out that liquidity. ES is stuck right at its higher time frame algo right now. You can see we're in this liquidity building stage. Look at the top right. We're trend bearish on the lower time frame, but higher time frames building liquidity. That's how and why I think that this is a pullback. How do I know that it's bullish liquidity being built? Because of the structure of this liquidity. That is pullback liquidity to go higher. Right, this is a walk down to go higher. Right, they might come lower first, but when we build liquidity like this, it's walking down to go higher normally. Right, yes, right at that higher time frame algo. We've not closed that gap yet. Right back into those 50s and 60s we talked about. There are sellers up at 75 and 90 right now. What is the heat map telling you? Well, it's telling you lots of things, but the lines above you are the passive sellers, right? So those thick red lines, that's where you've got lots of sellers sitting. The bubbles are basically market orders coming into the market. That's equivalently your delta, all right? That's your market order. So if you see a big green bubble and we move lower, that's lots of buyers getting stuck. When you see big green bubbles like this, is market orders coming in, trying to push us higher. So everyone thinks like a big green bubble means, you know, we're moving up. It's not how it works, right? That it only works if we move up, right? If you think about where buyers and sellers get trapped, this is a good way of seeing delta. Here we go. So now they're trying to turn this on. And the question is, can they get to those sellers at 75s and above? Are they ready to now do it is the question. And if they do, then we're going to try and trade up to the top side of that range. All right, we want to get up to New York Open and through. Like I said, it felt like it wants to do the move. Just waiting for ES. ES has got to get through a little volume shelf here. That's sort of 70, 73.50 is not through it yet. That higher time frame algo on ES. NQ's ready. NQ's starting to go. We're breaking out of that channel, reclaiming. All right, let's go then, baby. Let's turn the boosters on. Let's really get going. Let's turn those boosters on. Market's starting to find bids in front of that, or at that new 10 o'clock candle. That's what it is. That new hourly, new 4-hour candle. So a bit like earlier, you want to see pullbacks hold 50s. It's very much like earlier. It's the same kind of play. You want to see pullbacks hold 50s. If they can't hold 50s, we're going to make a new low. If they can hold 50s, we can get going. The one thing I'd say right now is ES looks incredibly weak. It looks like it wants to gap fill on ES. So if it does that, we will drag this market down a little bit. I know they're not identical, but they do share a lot of stocks in common. So if these 50s hold, we can think about getting long. If they don't hold, we need to be risk off again. All right, I think ES going for gap fill. Get rid of that level. What do I think about volume bubble indicator? Is that not this? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. What's volume bubble indicator? I don't know what it is. If it's based on delta and market orders, then I've just explained it. Otherwise, I don't know what it is. I can't help. All right, it's still not holding these 50s. ES getting very close to gap fill. SPY very close to gap fill. Like I said, I think that is the objective right now. So if you're trading the ETFs, SPY is looking for that trade into 669.20. ES is looking for that trade into 6764. 6764. NQ is not going to close its gap, in my opinion. It's way too strong to close its gap today. So we're trading the right asset to be long. We just got to wait. At this point, I just want ES to close the gap, get it over and done with, and then turn around. Don't want to get chopped up. So I can show you my scoreboard so far. It's a small scoreboard so far. That's it. That's the scoreboard. All right, about 500 quid or something, 600 quid. Not a lot. Not a lot to play with so far. Building out a bit of a wedge here. Right, so I want ES to fill its gap so that we can all get long together. All right, ES is getting closer. Right, they actually gap fill on ES. That's previous day low. This is gap fill. Right, notice the difference. Right, very clean on the way down, very, very heavy. We go to NQ. Gap fill on NQ is way down here, right? 993. I don't think we're going to do that. It's asking 160 points right now when we're holding above previous day and previous week's value. It seems somewhat unlikely to do that given the strength of the Qs. So I want to focus in longs in the Qs. You probably want to focus on shorts on ES. What's a quid? Oh, it's an English way of saying a pound, a dollar basically. That's my British tongue coming out. Did I say quid? It's probably been a while since I said that. Yeah, still not closing that gap. Finding bids here. We're just at the midpoint of that opening range right now. Is NQ going to get going here and ES not close the gap? That would be pretty naughty if it does it. It wouldn't surprise me. It's what it's kind of done the last few weeks, isn't it? It gets really close to liquidity, leaves it, finds divergence, and we get like some move one direction. We have reclaimed those 50s though. All right, here we go. Are you going to get through all these levels now? What's that old level? Previous week, previous all-time high is at 196s, and then that New York open and that opening range high. Still not convinced here because ES has not closed that gap. It's pretty annoying that it's done that. And it's pretty annoying. It only needed to trade another three points down there just to make sure we were efficient and we could trade one direction, knowing we weren't going to search for liquidity lower. What's a pound? A Great British pound. Nihao, I don't think that's... I don't see how you can say that after 25 minutes. Personally, I think the longs are already happening. Looking good. I wouldn't mind us going sideways for a minute or two here before cleaning everyone out. I don't really want this just to swipe. A little bit of sideways liquidity build would be nice here. I'll give you a readout on the MAC. They're looking strong now. Tesla 2.69% up. Nvidia just under 1% down. Microsoft 1% up. Google 0.5% up. Amazon 0.34% down. Apple 0.37% down. So those are starting to close their gaps. If they close their gaps and go red to green, they're going to look good. As a whole, the MAG equally balanced, 0.38% up on the session. What did you all close your leaps out, or maybe some of you had short time frame options on AMD? Those who traded it with me, what percent did you all make on that? I'm trying to hold. I think I'm trying to hold forever, so I'm trying not to sell. I'm in commons, so I was up like 38% today when I woke up. I was like, oh, it's tempting to just take it, but I'm in commons. I'm trying to hold forever and ever and ever. That's the game plan. All right, we're starting to break here. Starting to hold above flow zones. I want some sideways action for a bit so we can build out some shorts into this to then squeeze. Omalabi YM's been good to me. That's nice to read. Where are we at YM? 0.63% down. Let me have a quick look at that. Pwah! Nice trade. Just straight down. Just straight down. Literally hasn't looked back once. Not one green 2-minute candle on it, and other than the last one. You're under previous day low already. Literally straight down. All right, let's see if we can go sideways for a bit like we talked about. ES still needs to fill its gap. That's what we're waiting for. We want to see ES fill its gap and NQ ideally go sideways. Oh! You made $4,000 on one call position for AMD. My check's in the post, is it? My commission? Do I get a broker commission on that, Aga? You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm only joking. You're welcome. That's fantastic. Good to hear. Lovely to hear. It's a lot of money. $4,000, a lot of money. It was very obvious, that AMD position. So it's the nice it's the nice things about if you take leaps. You give yourself time. If you take those leaps at a good position, you give yourself time. Hey, what's up, Jake? You good? You're up 100%. But that's what you're saying here. But that shares. Nice. Yeah, I'm in commons as well, mate. Shares. Looking to get into options. If you're going to get into options and you're a swing trader, I'd say look at leaps. Right, leaps. Don't touch any of this 0DT bollocks. You get yourself caught. All right, ES looks like it wants that gap fill. Come on, ES. Just go and do it, please. Make our life easier on NQ. I get absolutely 100%, but most importantly, I started to be profitable trading futures with you. Yeah, well, you're doing the right thing now, I guess. So what you can do is you take your profits from the futures, you roll them into long-term accounts. You take, whether you take, forever type positions like I try and take, or you take swing calls and swing puts on leaps, and you make even more money. So you take your profits from intraday trading and you roll it into something else to make even more money. Stock-wise, you like Amazon? Yeah, I'm long Amazon, but we're just going to have to wait. See if we get a run up into earnings. Yeah, Aaron, anyone can do leaps. Anyone can do leaps. They're the safest options to do. They're just 1 year options, right? That's all they are. They're just 1 year, so you have a year for expiry. Okay, retesting these lows. ES getting close for this gap fill. Come on, ES, please fill this gap. Up 220 on SoFi. Yeah, SoFi looks really good. Yeah, that one went without me. There's a few that have gone without me recently. IREN went without me. IONQ went without me. RGTI went without me. HOND looks good. We're up again today on HOND. That's up another 6.5% today. Looking good, those who joined that. ALB looks good. We're up nice on that. 3% on that. I'm only in a small position in that. I've just got a starter. PayPal looks good. We're breaking 70s. I'm holding PayPal. That thing has got so much room. I sized in again last week a bit more. Morning, Alex. Yeah, I'm already in, Nathan, so I can show you. Forgive me, I don't know if you're in the Discord or not. So if you go to the Discord and you come to here, swing investments, right? So I tell them all my positions. You can see me talking about PayPal here. I got long last week. Where did I get long? Somewhere in here. I can't remember what day it was. ALB. What day did I get long PayPal? Somewhere last week we got long PayPal. Sorry, I can't find it in here, but we got long PayPal. Here we go. So on the 27th of last month, started getting long in PayPal. And then you can see last week, right, big money piled into it. Keeps talking about it here. And then I've got the gaps lined up. So what I want to get through here originally, through the 80s. And then I'm looking for some of these moves well above. I think we can go well. I'm also long Oscar Health. You can see that there, like I just talked about. Started long in some healthcare. Okay, ES is not willing to fill that gap. It's being a bit of a pain in the bum. We want to trade upside NQ because it looks good. All right, their shorts now did not get that move. Right, so sellers, think about sellers in the market getting themselves trapped. We're getting that sideways action. All right, sellers are piling in here, looking for this move here, and they probably want to get all the way down here. They're not getting it. All right, so sellers are getting trapped in here. If we break above, those short sellers are going to have to, forced to get cover their position. So that's what we're waiting for. We want to time that after ES has filled its gap. ES is not filling its gap, though. It is being a pain. It's just traded down to 66s. All we needed it to trade to was 64s. So it missed it by 8 ticks, all right? And it's traded straight back up towards its New York VWAP at the moment. So ideally, we can time this that once if NQ goes sideways, ES fills its gap, ES fulfills its obligation, it turns around, and then we know we can probably be risk on long with less reason for it to trade lower. That's how I'm framing it in my head. That's how I'm framing it on my head. ES having a big drive here. Oh, nice, Aga. Yeah, nice. Yeah, the swings are paying really well. What I'm trying to trade at the moment in the swings is stuff where I think the PE ratio is nowhere near where it needs to be, where I think we can have at least a run up into earnings. So that gives us 3-4 weeks to play into earnings, where I think, if you're playing leaps, then you probably get a nice run up no matter what. And then you can either take profit there or some profit there. And then if it wants to continue going past earnings and we go in a risk on market, then we're really well positioned. But healthcare is definitely the sector with the most room for growth. Healthcare, and then I'd say housing. But I took that play on housing already. I took that open play, and I've closed that out. I think we made 400 or 500% on open on common. So if you took option, I don't know if options were available. But if they were, you made really good. Yeah, energy looks good. Energy does look good. We're just going to need to see a rotation, basically. And what that's going to require is probably a rotation out of tech, to be honest. A little bit of the froth to come out of tech and go into some other names. So ES right at its New York VWAP here. SPY coming into VWAP here. We didn't close the gap, unfortunately. Maybe it can still do it, but right now it's looking less likely. And we are doing that sort of sideways move. We're building out this liquidity on NQ, so we're just going to have to be patient. Remember, my bias is upside. We are above previous day's value. You can see right here. Here's your gut check of previous day value area high. 1, 2, this is a key level. We bid off it. Surprise, surprise. right? This is higher time frame buyers saying, no, we are bulls down here. We want to move higher on the day. So all the time we bid above this, right, we're building this wedge out. Eventually, ideally, we get acceptance. Maybe they do one more flush and then do it. If we get below previous day value area high, then there's maybe a short back down to the next level, previous week, previous day point control, value area low. This would be a rotation day if we get in here. I don't think we want to do that on NQ. I think we want to move higher, but it's only a Monday, who knows? Okay, ES through its first VWAP then, and we look like we want to get going here. What was the volume like at these lows? Biggest volume of the day down here. Definitely trap sellers down here right now. Definitely trap sellers down here right now. They're not getting a move underneath this. They're not getting that breakdown. So this is your over under basically 30. Is that right? Yeah, 30. 130 is your over under. Sellers are caught. I would imagine anyone that's watching Delta, I'd imagine on Delta, you've got a ton of selling down here. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, it's worth watching the latest video that I just posted. We didn't talk about Delta. Maybe I'll do one on that. But let me post this in chat for anyone who hasn't watched it. We had a new video go out this weekend about reversal strategies, about how to see trap players in the market. I'm going to stick it in chat now. Right, there you go. Just posted it in chat. Worth a watch on that. Okay, here you can see they're starting to try and find a bid. ES is still at that New York VWAP. Remember, ES still hasn't closed the gap. Apple's gone red to green. Google's red to green. The only ones lagging behind are Amazon and Nvidia. Patient here, folks. Nice and patient. Do you ever trade GC? Because that's primarily what I trade. I don't trade GC. I should be trading GC, but I just get so frustrated that this thing keeps going and going and going and going. What I want to do is be buying GC long, and it's just all the time we keep decimating that dollar. It's going to keep going up, and I just can't get into it. Have we hit the 4,000 yet on GC? That's clearly the target, is 4,000. It's as simple as that. Maybe once we get there, we get a ginormous pullback. All right, we're going here. Market is building between these wedges. Liquidity here, 75, 80, 85. I'd like one more rollover down to come and test these 130s and then a bid back up off it. One more little trap would be fantastic. And ideally, ES closes its gap then. Not much to do here, folks. Not much to do here. We're in a 106-point range. We've got initial balance coming in 10 minutes, and then we can think about the type of day we're in. So far, I would say we're in a bullish rotational day. Bullish because of high time frames. Bullish rotation because we faded away from the highs. Haven't closed the gap, but we are within range. Got to get your words out, man. Get your words out on a Monday morning, right? So we're still trading inside that opening 15 minutes. We are trading right at the opening 5-minute candle, right? So we haven't really done a lot today. You've not missed much. Nothing's happened. Nothing's happened. My swing portfolio looks good. Amazon's actually the only one lagging behind my swing portfolio. Everything else looks great. I do like playing swings. There's so much less stress, man. You just put in, you don't oversize, you buy at right areas and you just let it work. So easy compared to trading, honestly. It is so easy because you give yourself time. Right, this is what we want to see. Come back down Trap some more shorts. ES, you be a good boy and close that gap and then find a bid for me. No? Or just go higher without any reason for, you know, without any confluence of ES closing a gap. You guys just send it now then, fine. You buggers. Absolute buggers. Absolute buggers. They're not going to make this easy, are they? All right, so we're starting to build out one of these here to do this. You've got to be aware we're wedged in a little bit, but if we get through here, there's probably a squeeze starting. This level here is pretty big. It's the old all-time high, and it's a weekly and daily level. All right, so that's what we failed under over this morning. There you go. So it's starting to squeeze now. So unfortunately, they build this quite high. It would have been nice if they built this a bit lower on the quasi, but we're looking good here. ES going back towards its VWAP now. So it's through New York. It's going to come and test the 24-hour VWAP. I'll do that in a moment, JD. Is it holding it, JD? Yeah, nice. Beautiful. That's what I like to hear. I'm waiting to wake up and see Apple at like 280, you know? It's coming. It's coming. Nice, Jacob. Yeah, if you're a range trader, there's stuff there. Like I'm up about a similar amount to you right now. Up a similar amount to you right now. There is a seller here. Look, you can see him on the book. He was trying to get filled at 85s. He's moved to 80s. Sort of flatlining delta here a little bit. Not a lot happening. Not a lot happening at the moment. Tell you what, you can tell I've had a weekend, because if we were doing this action last week, I would have been screaming at the screens. I've just like, I think it's the first weekend where I've actually took it off. I did all of that newsletter I did on Friday after the close. I made that video, I think it was Friday or Thursday after the close. I did all the editing on Friday. So I actually got Saturday and Sunday off for the first time in, I cannot remember the last time I took 2 days off. I actually got to relax, and my mental and physical health feels thankful for it. So important you get off the screen. So important. I went and saw, was it Friday night or Saturday night? Friday night I chilled with a buddy and my wife. And then Saturday I went to the gym early Saturday for a big lift, and then hung out at the pool. And then Saturday night we went to see that new Leonardo DiCaprio film. Amazing film. If anyone hasn't seen it yet, go and watch it. Thought it was fantastic. Really enjoyed it. What was it called? Another battle, something like that. Battle after battle. Another battle. It's something like that. Help me out, chat. You guys will know what it is. But yeah, great film. Really, really enjoyed it. Really, really good. And yesterday just went for brunch with a friend and then hung out at the pool. I feel good for it. Okay, we're still just trading in this range. Let's get those likes up, folks. At least 100 of you not hit them yet. Do me a favor, smash that like button. It doesn't cost you anything. Doesn't cost you anything. Don't forget that Apex sale is still on, 80% sale. And Discord, Nathan, it's free for anyone that does the course. It's just for course members. Right, so it comes for free for lifetime with the course. Don't do monthly subs or anything like that. Maybe that would change in the future, but yeah, if you do the course, it's for free. The reason for that is I need everyone to trade the same kind of way, because then they can help each other out, right? Nothing worse than a Discord where you pay a fee and everyone's arguing and trading in different directions. And unsupportive. So been there, done that. I know what that looks like. Herbs was quite bearish today, but I don't think, I'm not sure what that is, managed to reverse to some quarter gaps. This wedge makes me wonder if it's a retest. Yeah, maybe Herbs. I mean, it made sense to be a sell up here, but it's just for a retest for me. You know, we can afford, if we really want to, you know, we can afford to come pretty deep. And then try and bid back up. I would only be, for me, I'm only going to be really bearish if we try and bid back up and we start getting stuck at key levels. And then there's a rotation. And under here and here, I'm way more likely to be looking for downside, especially under here. For pro trend, I'm talking about, for pro trend. Might just be a rotational day. Remember, we haven't even filled the gap. We have not even filled the gap. We're holding very, very strong. ES is all the way down here right now, or was all the way down there. Very different markets at the moment. That divergence, like we talked about this morning, rearing its ugly head a lot at the moment. Hey, BU, good to see you. Good to see you back. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Peter knows the movie. One battle after another. Has anyone seen it? It was fantastic. One of the best movies I've seen for a long time. Same producer and director that did Boogie Nights and stuff like that. Really, really, really good. All right, ES starting to drive higher, so we're going the opposite ways now. We're going the opposite ways. Google's just gone red to green. Apple's flirting around the close. So Google and Apple are both basically flat on the day. They've both gone, they went, sorry, red to green, green to red, both of those. Markets cannot make its mind up. ES back into 24-hour VWAP. Make your mind up, Mr. Market. We're just in a range here. Nothing to do here. So good, isn't it? So good. What a film. What else did I do at the weekend? Watched Arsenal. Watched Arsenal go top of the league. Let's go. Love to see that. What else did I do? Took a payout last night on my Funding Ticks account. I'll do a video of that later. I really like them. Impressed. So we'll be trying to make a conscious effort to pass my other accounts there now that they've paid. All right. Mag pulling back a bit here. One side range to the other side of the range. Apple, SPY's getting stuck there, or ES getting stuck at its 24-hour VWAP. We're just trapped between 24-hour VWAP and New York VWAP in the spiders, in the ES. That's all we're doing. We're just stuck. We didn't close the gap, and we're stuck. All interest seems to have gone from this market this morning. Any chance on turning these boosters on today? Man, I've moved all these wrong. Previous day value area high. Idiot Alex. Sean's Penn's character is a bit crazy. Yeah, he reminded me of me and my wife were talking about this. He was like a real life version of what was that film called? Toy Soldiers. As a kid, that animation film. He looked like a real life version of that army sergeant. Kira's got cost you points on FPL, or not scoring. Oh man, Divergence playing again here. So ES is still trying to move upside. NQ is now moving downside. No alignment, zero alignment. We might come back and check these lows. Remember that 30 was the level that we called earlier. This is just sort of over under here because sellers, I would imagine sellers are stuck under here right now. Let's put some volume profile on here now that we've been here for an hour. Initial balance now set, so we can see what we've traded with this morning now. All right, so there's your tiny range, 76 to 42, so 30-point range again. I'm trading back into, let's line this up, 22s. Back into that key level. Yes, trying to drive higher here. It's hilarious. Linktree couldn't be more different if we tried right now. Could not be more different if we tried right now. All right, back to VWAP we go. Yes, trying to break out through. It's 24-hour VWAP. Alignment's completely out of sync. I'm going to use the bathroom here. Maybe we get a move after that. All right, starting to break down here. NQ starting to let go a little bit. Still no new low day. ES still holding on up there. We know there's big levels down here. This is where the sellers got trapped this morning underneath these 30s. Break down under that. We let those sellers out and watch this initial balance. And then I guess a trend day will happen if we don't reclaim like this. Or if we build out here, we know that this is a big level. You can see I've got it tagged as an RBS. If we fail under there and build liquidity then maybe a recheck of Globex. And down here, that's asking a lot, but who knows in this market right now? I would say at the moment, if sellers don't break under here, they will get trapped just like they did here earlier. Right, it's where they got trapped earlier. So sellers will want a breakdown under here, something like that. Otherwise, this is possible back to the top side of this range. This is your, oh no, give me that back. Your range today is only this. Let's extend this out, make sure that's working properly. There we go. All right, so not got a lot to play with here, folks. Not a lot to do. Yeah, totally bored. Exactly. We're not really doing much. It's a very small range. Yes, holding on up there very, very well. We're trading back into value area high from the previous day. Maybe we come down to those 100s high time from Algo. I don't know. I don't know, folks. We're going to find out, though. So fail breakout will be under here, an absorption, and a trend day will need to base out under here for a full rotation down into these. You're going to need to see the mag let go for that to happen. Tesla's still holding strong. Microsoft's holding strong. Nvidia now 1.47% down. Google basically flat on the day. Amazon 0.5% down. Apple now 0.20% down. Nothing major. And you've still got no breakdown, no new low of day yet. So you have shorts covering into previous day value area high right now. And ES is still trying to break out. All right, still stuck between its two VWAPs. Very, very different charts. Do I have time to get another coffee? I reckon I do. I'll be right back. There we go. That was quick. All right, there's bids down here into 100. ES keeps failing that VWAP, stuck between the two VWAPs on the ES. Stuck between the two VWAPs. Remember, shorts will need a breakdown under here. If they do not get that, this is where they got stuck, right? They got stuck here this morning in this big volume drive. You can see this volume here. That's where they got stuck. We know they got stuck because we came back into it and they covered, and we came back into it and they covered. They will need a breakdown here under here. If they don't get it, they will get stuck again. And ES is still trying to break out. Very different charts. Worth watching ES at the moment. It's holding this market up very, very well. So for me, we're in nothing more than a range and a rotational market. That range is bullish until proves otherwise. I know we're technically intraday. We've been in a sell at least for that first 15 minutes of the day. Since then, we've built out a range, right? So for me, the trend today, you had a sell down here. There was a bid off this, a bid off this. That is a failure. Back down in. If they protect this, maybe they try and retest the low. If they reclaim this, just more shorts will get stuck down here, and we go back to the top side of the range. We get acceptance above the top side. We go previous week high, session high. Those are the plays, folks. Either under here, here to here, under here, or failure. You can trade from here back inside, and you can trade over this to the top. I don't really want to trade in this part here now. Ideally not. Make sure this is extending out. It is. Okay, good. All right, yes, pushing through its VWAP. SPY through its VWAP. Apple trying to go red to green. Google's gone red to green. So you've just got Amazon lagging behind a bit, and Nvidia obviously down on the day. We see that rotation out of Nvidia into AMD this morning, pre-market. But Nvidia is still very bullish overall. So here you go. Those sellers are very, very likely to get stuck down here. If we do not make a new low, this will be big, big pain for them. So they will need a new low here. Otherwise, they will get stuck. Morning, Scott. Morning, buddy. Yeah, I'm bored as well, Peter. one day we'll get a pro trend that actually happens in New York instead of overnight. Every day last week it happened overnight, and Monday's been the same. It's happened overnight, not giving us the plays. Just, you get months like this, and then you move away, you change asset, you do whatever, and then you miss the move because it starts happening again. It's always the way. Short's trying to get this retest or breakdown of that low is what they're looking for. ES pulling back off the VWAP. We still haven't closed gaps, and we still haven't had a breakdown in NQ. There's scalps here to be had in NQ and nothing more than that to the short side at the moment until it proves otherwise. JD. Okay, here's a retest of that low, previous day value, area high. And we've bid off this so far all morning. We've got the 100s below. This block underneath is pretty key. That's where we sort of broke out from in Asia and London. Failuring under there, you're open to a rotation to 25, 50s basically. So from here, there's probably 50-point rotation. And if we hold this, then I would say we're just going to move upside. We're just going to trap. So this is why I'm waiting. Where are they bidding? Down to the 100s. What's ES doing? Is it still looking for 50s, or have they moved up off that? They've moved up off it a little bit into 70s. So they're looking to bid 70s on ES at the moment. All right, there's the breakdown. So either you get a fail break and a turn inside, or shorts really come in here. If you get that fail break and turn inside, then you just get more stuck. So we've just swept that liquidity. There's your IB, no acceptance underneath. We've just swept it, come straight back inside. There's your value for the day. Any move above 35 and definitely above 46 causes a squeeze right now. So shorts will want to reject this right now, 36. So if we move back inside a value, little node here, 40s and 50s. Yeah, 50s. Anything above here now. This can be a failed auction. Anything above here goes topside. And this is range rotation in here. So you might get range rotation in here as well. If we're going to do this, if you took this, you go IB, VWAP, VWAP. All right, if you're an IB player, we're going IB, VWAP. That's what you're looking for. Here we go. I'd say starting to get some short squeeze triggers here. Definitely through 45s, acceptance over 45s. I'd watch this node at 50, and then you're going to get triggers for upside. Remember, if we can't move lower, we're going to go higher. So it's a battleground here. I hope so, Czar. I really hope so. I hope you're right. Oh, my neck's sore today. There's a lack of news or data right now. Nothing moving the market. Very different as well. If we look at this, look where we are, look at ES. Very different, right? We wanted ES to fill this gap, which is like here. There we go. Gaps here, didn't fill the gap. Grind, 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 grind. Ideally, we would have filled that. Turn around, here's your pivot, ES long, and it's stuck here. So this is your pivot, 72s, this kind of zone. All the time ES holds that. This is potential. Failing under that, gap fills potential. bias, remember, high time frame bias is upside, especially NQ, which has had relative strength today. Is why I'm not focused on the shorts in NQ. Can we move that? There we go. Why do you think next week, Czar? Why do you think next week the fun returns? What is it about next week? Out of interest. What news drivers are there? I haven't looked. Earnings are back into earnings season. Okay. Starting to get potentially squeezy here. Okay, here we go, folks. I'm watching this more intently now. So IB to VWAP's basically about to happen right now. And then through that, we're watching 50s. All right, through here and 50s, we've got a little volume node here. If we can get through this VWAP, 46s will trade to 50s. Through that, we're looking at the New York VWAP 57, sorry, and then back to the top side of the range. Need to see them reclaim though. Still just doing a dance. These is this like 20 points? I'm going to guess it's 20 points because that's what we've been doing. Yeah, it's 20 points. This is like last week now. It's the 20-point shuffle, I'm going to call it. The NQ 20-point shuffle. This is it. And it just does it for hours and hours and hours and hours on end at the moment. It's the same as last week. It is infuriating to watch. If we go back to last week. 20-point shuffle. Shuffling the cards, shuffling the cards, shuffling the cards, shuffling the cards, shuffling the cards. Oh, God, look at this. It's just, it's not a pretty market to look at. That's what they seem to be doing at the moment, though, so we have to respect what they're doing. If that's what they do, we know when they go into range, we do 20-point shuffle and maybe 60-point expansion on average, I'd say. So what's this to here? 63 point. Look at that guess. What was there to here? To be fair, we can go from swing to swing, but there's a bit more this time if you got that absolute swing. 77, but really it was from here, so 60 points. Here to here, less. 50 points. This to the breakdown. 60 points, and then 20-point shuffle. So we keep doing 60-point, 20-point shuffle. So if we're going to do upside now, 60-point would be about into 70. That's all it keeps doing. It's really weird, but that's what it keeps doing. That's from me watching it all last week. Okay, here goes. Are we going to go squeezy now? Here's VWAP. So if you're long this off the IB, you're taking at least a partial here. Here we go. All right, boom time. Let's get going now. Let's get going now. We want to get through acceptance through 50s, New York VWAP, and then we're going to trade up to 73s. And then if we can go extensions and it wants to play ball, that would be really, really nice. I've got like one tiny piece on here, for folks, from these lows. I'll move my stop into break even now. So I bid off previous day value area high when we reclaimed it. I can try and show you. How can I pull this over? There you go. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. All right, just off the lows. I want to see if we can rotate all the way up. It would be nice if we could, but I'm not going to bank on it, but we'll see. You'd want to see 45s hold now. We don't want to do this VWAP dance. So both VWAPs taken there. So you can take partials. You've hit both VWAPs off that IBL. Off the RBL, you've hit both VWAPs. Oh, don't sell it all the way back down. I wanted this to work out. I wanted this to get going. Holding previous day point of control. So if you took IBL, I entered here risking this afterwards, or here. TP1, TP2, TP3, and ideally TP4 up here. Still holding previous day point of control here. Why is that moved? Have I got that wrong? Why? Oh my God, I'm having a nightmare with my POCs here. I have to measure this out again. All my data's got moved by me being an idiot this morning. Let's go 9 o'clock into close. Let's take the extension off. What a wally. Absolute wally. How have I messed that up so bad this morning? Previous day value area high. Previous day value area low. Hang on, is this extending? No, so that is wrong. So why is that different on NinjaTrader? What have I done there? What's that level? 50, 25,000. That's way wrong, Alex. I must have been really tired this morning when I've literally moved all my previous day point of controls and stuff to the wrong level. Anyway, we're bidding off value here. Right, so if we complete rotation, if failed breakdown, we talked about this is where shorts got stuck earlier. They've got stuck at the same level. Look at the 30s or 20s somewhere here. This is where shorts getting stuck. All right, this is your pivot. There's your sign of strength back up. There's your hold inside of value. All right, if we're going to complete rotation, we're going to go to at least here. And if we get acceptance, we're going back here, remember, because the pro trend ideally is to move higher. You can scalp along the way here, folks. Not much range to play with. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've just moved it. Yeah, you were right. You were right. I don't know if you've just joined. You would have seen this morning. I've royally effed up my value areas, but they should all be right in the correct areas now. Don't know how I've managed that. No idea how I've managed that. Yeah, smash that like button for me, folks. Share the stream with friends. Share the stream with friends. Lots of content coming soon. Way, there you go. Just got paid. Love it. Funding ticks. They're going to get the flow zone approval. They are getting the flow zone approval. Really, really, really good. I'll give you a preview. I'm going to do a video, but I can give you a preview here. This is why I like them. How can I make this smaller? Can you see that? Does it need to be smaller? I really like them. There's no trading drawdown. I'm really impressed with them, I'll be honest. Right, so where are my accounts? Are they here? Still getting used to this. Okay, so this was my eval. So you can see I passed there. How many days did it take? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Took me 6 days. I had one drawdown day. So I made 1,000, then I made 566, then 291, then 273, then drawdown for 1 day, and then 604. So passed it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Moved to the Pro Plus. And then we can move this back. and I hit 299, 1,946, 508. Then I had a drawdown day of 210, much lower than my others. And then last Friday I made 197, and then I've just been approved for payout. So first $1,000 pulled out. So I just turned, that cost me $38, that account at the time. I think they're about 70 now. Cost me $38, and I turned $38 into $1,000. You don't get much better rate of return than that. There is, with those, they're pretty good. There's no trailing drawdown. You can get paid every 5 days. I have the ones which are set to a max withdrawal of $1,000 every 5 days. So I will be buying 4 more now. I will tried one. I'm going to turn that into 4 more. No, you cannot pass in 1 day. It would take you 3 days to pass. So that's the only difference. There's a 40% consistency just in the eval, but there's no consistency in the PA and no trailing drawdown in either, which is quite nice. So where my thought process is, I also have the same with a take profit right now. I'm into daily withdrawals on take profit. So I'm actually due some today. I can take some out if I want. What I want to do is get 5 take profits, 5 funded ticks, all at PAs for regular payouts, and my Apex accounts. So probably just my 10, 50k Apex accounts, because I don't want to do it with my 250s and bigger. And then try and trade them together and just go for like base hits each day, $200 to $500 on each one each day. And that will equate to some very large regular payouts, both on TPT and funded ticks. Nice to get paid out every 5 days. It feels good. TPT's goated for daily payouts, though, honestly. What percent is the max daily drawdown? Is it smaller because of no daily drawdown? No, it's just a max loss. So you have to, it's $2,000. Herbs, $2,000 in the 50Ks. So you got $2,000 drawdown, and you need to make $2,500. So it's not $3,000, it's less. So in the PAs, once you make over $2,000, you can draw that out. It was, Scott, it was for like a 24-hour sale. I think it's now, let me have a look. It's probably like 60 or 70. I'm going to have a look for you. Buy a challenge. FCT. So if you do funded ticks pro 50k, $1,000 max, $77. No activation fee. Yeah, so if you pass that in 4 days or 3 days, you can pass it in 3 days. You can take as long as you want, but you pass it in 3 days. But you can only withdraw $1,000 every 5 days if you do that. If you want to draw $5,000 every 5 days, it will cost you $125. Still really good. Yeah, I will do a video on them. I think their code is FCT. Same as always, FCT. Yeah, I'll do a video this week. Now that I didn't want to really talk about them at length until I went through the process of passing, making the money, and getting paid. I'm happy to talk about them now. And it didn't take long. So now I'm going to pass the other accounts because I've got some other accounts there. So I need to focus on those now. Get those passed. Turn that $38 into 1,000 each of those, and that's very nice. They do take 10. That's the other thing I should say. They do take 10% commissions. All right, so they straight out the gate. So the first 1,000, they take 100 off you. Just to be aware, folks. Just so that you're aware. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's very relaxing trading that way. I'll tell you that much, because I'm not worried about my trailing draw. You just stick it on and you let it work, and that's why you'll see some of the days on those that I showed you. I had $1,000 days because I didn't get taken out. It hit my TP. Whereas, like, obviously with take profit and with Apex, you've got to manage them a little bit better until you get past the buffer, which I am now past the buffer on everything. But yeah, I don't like shilling. I don't like pushing. I don't like selling, but I would say they're pretty good. But it's up to you guys. They don't have the scaling ability Apex has. Apex is absolutely goated for scaling ability. Nothing better than Apex, especially right now. 80% sale on it. 10 to 20 counts on that. Take your time, build it. Easy money. Easy money. You won't get better than that. Okay, the squeeze is on. The squeeze is on here. They are really trying to shove this up at the moment. Apple's trying to go red to green. And they want to try and do that rotation. You've got that point of control beneath us now on the day. And they will try and get up here into the 72. So still looking for this to hold and rotate up if we can get through this New York view up. So we're looking, you know, I don't know if it's going to do it now. It's taken so long, but there's the failed auction. There's the turnaround. There's the bid. There's the midpoint. We want to get up into here. And if we get acceptance over here, we're trying to get up into here. Why? We're trying to get a pro trend. How can I make this bigger? We're trying to get a pro trend, folks. That's what we're trying to get. Whether it wants to do it or not is a whole other thing. But that's what we're trying to get. It's Terry. Can I repeat that? Which prop firm has no trailing drawdown? Funded ticks. Funded ticks. Same with by the way, it's the same with well, I can't think. Tradeify. Same with them. Their growth accounts don't have a trailing drawdown either. Same with Tradeify. I think Tradeify have moved to pay out every 5 days as well. But you can pass those in 1 day. But they might be a little bit more expensive right now. I'll have a look. What's Tradeify costing at the moment for a growth account? How do I try one here? How do I add an account? Here we go. Growth, 50k, trade of 8. Actually, it might be pretty good. Might be very close. Okay, they're $97 at Tradeify, but you can draw more than 1,000 out. So at Tradeify, what can you draw out per account? I think it's still 2,000, isn't it? So it's double. So horses for courses. They're both great. They're both great. I don't have market profile on Ninja at the moment. It's actually something I need to sort out. And I'm also wanting to code. I want to code my own system, which gives like a delta warning. So I'm looking, what I'd like to do is in the Flow Zone Pro, basically have like a delta thing that like shoots here and here if we have increased volume like this, where one side is trapped. So I would imagine if I put delta on here, let's have a little look. Let's try this one. Does this do it? No, that's rubbish. Right, let's get rid of that. Let's try. It's got to be a delta. It's actually good. Okay, here was good. I mean, it's same. So you see this big volume. If you did the video at the weekend, you'll know what I'm looking at. All right, we have big volume here. Now, if you don't have volume that separates like this does, you won't see that this was, delta was very big. All right, this means there's lots of market sell orders down here. What does that mean? Lots of people chased short down here. And what did we have here? Same thing. Here, no. Well, no. Here was just bids. Delta was strong. So they washed, and then buyers, genuine buyers have come back in. Market buyers came back in under here. Here we go. It's a squeeze, folks. So you know the targets that we're looking for upside right now. Can leave this on for a minute, and we can go over that in a little lesson if you want. What have I missed? Oh, there we go. Richard, past 2 Apex evaluations today. That will put me back to 5 funded accounts. Nice work, mate. Nice work. All right. We're still trading upside here. Remember, pro trend is up. I've been focused on the longs today. We're looking for shorts to get trapped to trade back upside. All right. So I've been long here, added back in a little piece here. I want to see if we can hold above this view up, trade into 70s, trade through that. We're looking at 85s, 93s, and then back to all-time highs. Here we can go. And this is why you're patient and you wait. Wait for one side to get stuck in the market and ideally take the pro trend, because it's so much easier to trade the higher time frame narrative. So much easier to trade. Look at ES now, really gunning. It's a shame ES didn't close that gap. That made it a little bit more of a pain to trade, if I'm honest. It would have been really nice if we closed that gap on ES first. And you can pay yourself along the way here, folks. We got pretty close. How much did we miss that by? A couple points. Hopefully this is all making sense to you at this point. If you've traded with me long enough or done the course, it makes sense. I am going to do like a new course. I don't know if I hopefully this year, just like an advanced course just on futures. All right, just on futures, because I'm going to focus on obviously everything that you learn and everything else, but basically on a centralized market, how we can lean edge from bookmap and volume and trap traders. It will be cheaper than the 20-hour course. It won't be as long, but I am going to do a new course so that you can understand all this. But you know, if you trade with me every day and you watch some of my educational videos, it should be starting to make sense what I look for. I look for trap traders. I know you can say today that, you know, hey, why did you bid here when we were in downward flow? Yes, I understand what you're saying, but these bids here were off value after reclaims. And now we're going where? Where's my narrative? All right, so they were cheap, and then we add in stronger when we start to prove. Come on, baby. All right, TP1 here, folks. And let's see if we can really get going here. It'd be lovely if we could. See if we can turn the booster jets on. But you should be taking TP here. You can see value. We're in a balanced day. Well, technically, we're gapping up into balance, but in the New York session, this is a D-shaped profile. We are in balance, all right? So you trade the edges, technically, so you must be taking some profits up here. 25, 147, 147. Yeah, very nice on that pullback in. Yeah, beautiful. Think about this. Range, failed break, sign of strength, pull back in, quasi, bull flag, whatever you want to call it. Up we go. All right, that's what we've been looking for all morning. This pattern here, folks, is the Alex pattern. This is what I love. This is a Wyckoff pattern, a smart money concept pattern. It doesn't matter, a trap trader pattern. Call it what you want. These are the patterns that I like. Boop, 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 boop. Offside shorts. All right, offside shorts in a bullish market, in an overall bullish market. Thank you very much. What TV profile are you using? This just fixed. Just the one here. I can draw it out for you. Where are you? Here. Fixed volume profile. Can you see that? Hopefully that's showing. Fixed volume profile. All right, so you have to draw it out. You will have to pay for data for that, I believe, or have a pro account. I don't know which one it is. One of those two things. All right, so liquidity here at 180. And if we get acceptance through value, then we're probably going to squeeze 185 and keep going, I'd imagine, at this point. Nice day. I mean, not a great day because I haven't got much range, but as long as you can avoid sort of the noise and trade the edges. I think some of you had this short here. We talked about this short here. So some of you traded that. I traded this long back up. Long back up. I said all day I'm going to focus on the longs, not on the shorts, because I want to stick to the pro trend where possible. But a decent day. No worries, Market Stalker. Yeah, if you want my settings, there's a free video on my YouTube. Just go. There's a tab on my YouTube for like volume profile trading or something like that. And there's a video on my settings and what I'm looking for. Don't forget, folks, 6 more days for that Apex sale. That's all you've got right now. Ends in 6 days. Code FCT will get you 80% off, and it's just $85 for the activation fee. That's the key thing right there. That's saving you $60 odd per activation. Still looking for upside. You can see it on the book here, 180s. So we're boxed in this value. 30 points, is it? 40 points. 40 points. Boxed in. How long we got left? 50 minutes left until lunch. Here we go. I'm going to test these sellers up here at 80. Oi. I entered on the reclaim down here. We reclaimed value in IB. You could have entered even earlier at reclaim of IB. I entered here, and then your next long trigger is what? Is this. And now you've probably got to wait for this now, if you're not already in. Because otherwise, this rotation, they can fail here and come back down to here. So you need to wait for acceptance above now. This coffee is not even touching the sides this morning. Oh, come on, Mr. Market. Let's do something. I'm waiting for AMD to find a bid here. It's in that pre-market support. I don't want to see AMD give this whole fucking thing back and me not take any profit. Also 50% pullback here. Hang on. We're holding flag. No, that's good. We look good. All the time until 197. I'm good. Still can see this liquidity on the book here. So this is the edge. Balanced profile day. Edge to edge so far. Within the New York session. 30 points. That's all you're playing with. Very small range, not much to play with. So your runners for acceptance above. That's it. And nothing else you can do. I'm going to be right back here, folks, all right? All right, still looks good, folks. Wait and see if we can get acceptance above current value at the moment. If we look at the H1, like we've done everything we want to see. Where are you guys? All right, if we look at the H1, if we think about what we talked about this morning, we were looking for pullback longs, right? Into what? Into key levels. You can see it's blue level. Why is it a blue level? Resistance, breakout. So R, B, S became support. All right. There's your trade down. There's your quasi. There's your breakout. There's your pullback. We're trying to get long off this for the move back towards the highs. That's what we'd like to do. It might be that it doesn't want to do it today. It might be that Monday does this. Maybe Tuesday offers a breakdown. Maybe Wednesday turns back inside and goes upside. Maybe not. Maybe Monday does this. Maybe Tuesday takes the high. Maybe Wednesday starts to fail and Thursday, Friday. I don't know. We're very early in the week and we lack data. But what I do know is structurally we're holding this level and we've traded back up and our value on the day is only this. This is all we've got to play with. It's one of those days, folks, where we can only play with what the market gives us, right? But we're protecting key levels. Learn to see this, right? Learn to see this. This is a bit of a blow off top, so we're due a two-leg pullback. 1, 2. This is a failed breakdown. This is a trade inside. This is available here. Remember, this was made before the open. When we make highs, we look to make them ideally if they're going to hold in the New York session. So we'll see. We will see. Still looks good for higher. Adding liquidity up there at 80s. Just need to see if we can get acceptance over this level. This is bullish. Right, the way we're building this is bullish. If we start to fail down there, then we're not bullish anymore. I would say we're just in a rotational day. Then we would have gone fail to accept above, fail to accept a low, fail to accept above, back to the low, fail to accept above, fail to accept below, fail to accept above, back towards range, right? So we don't really want to play in here. You definitely don't want to be long up here. You'd need to look for a breakout and a base above or trade off these lows. Liquidity being built is fine for bullish intraday momentum all the time we're holding above this, because think about the structure. Right, all the time we hold this, that's available. Fail to hold this, we open up for that rotation back down. Remember, we've come into value. Bulls so far are stuck above this on the day. Shorts are stuck below this. This is value. We're starting to fade POC. So this is becoming more and more probable at the moment, unfortunately. Our runner's not looking like we're going to get up to where we'd like. One thing to be aware of as well is that gap remained open. I said I thought it would definitely remain open on the Qs today. If you go back, I said very unlikely we close that gap on the Qs. They got very close on ES. Let's see what you guys are saying. How can I identify is that if there is low resistance, LR liquidity on that move up, the market may pick up later today. On the move up, on this intraday move up, I mean, there is, but there's not much to play for. Like, the bigger thing I'd look at is this is a sweep down here. All right, so we talked about here earlier. Talked about this delta or the volume, however you want to put it. This is trap sellers. We talked about that all the time. We hold 30s. I said the sellers will remain trapped. We pushed away, came back, held. Pushed away, came back, held. Pushed away, came back, and then we encourage them to come back in. So we get a liquidity little dump here, and this is a turnaround, and we go straight back the other way. You could say that this is LR, all right, because there's been no sweep. But at the moment, we're in such a tight range, there's no reason to do it. I'd be more inclined to say that for what happened pre-market in London. So if you zoom out here, okay, this is what I'd call, what you would call LR. Think about how thin this is. We've moved from 7:30 in the morning. In 45 minutes, we moved 120 points without any notable pullback. Here's one pullback here. This is the breakout straight up. When you see that, right, without a stop hunt, this is likely to happen. It's very likely that we'll come back and at least test this and now test this, right? So that is LR. This is choppy range. I'd say that's the difference. So when you see LR, as you would call it, I would just call it a trend without a stop hunt, right? A trend without a stop hunt. So we talked about it on Friday in this grind up. Okay, where was it? On Friday, if you joined me on stream. Right, let me get rid of this. Right, this grind up here was LR, as you would call it. Right, this is why if you joined me Friday, if you were on stream Friday, I said, I'm not going to long this. Okay, let's just draw this out in terms of what we did structurally. Here's your swing low. There's your new swing high, all right, uptrend. You tell me where a sweep takes place. Right? What low gets taken out? None. No. Right? So what's that? That is what you would call LR, right? This. Right? Because normally you would see something like this. Take one out and then move high. That's how you know it's healthy. Right? So when we don't do that, and this is the other thing to look out for. When we don't do that, and you see declining, we're moving up on declining volume. And if you had ATR here, if you had an average true range here, you have declining ATR. All right, so the move's getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. What do you then get? You get a collapse. This is why I said I did not trust any of this move. And those in the room, I think Foster Scott got short from somewhere around here. And I joined in from here and here. And we played for that expansion. Oh, lower. Right, because at that point you had all these bulls offside, right? Once we broke down, all these bulls here are offside, so we play short for their liquidation, right? That's when you get one side trapped. Does that make sense? And I can show you guys, because you might, if you knew, you'd be like, whatever, mate, you didn't trade that. I did trade it. Right, we did trade it. This is the advantage of being in the room. Where are we? Here we go. So you can see that same thing. All right, same thing I just talked about. I marked out at 8:32. So that would have been 9, 10, 11:32. I marked out. No stop taken. Yuck. All right. All right, so this is why we talked about it. And then here you can see what I just said. There's the trend line up. Hopefully you guys can see this. Lower volume, lower ATR. Dangerous. I don't know if you can see the ATR there. Hopefully you can. It's underneath. I don't think you can. What if I squeeze this in? Is there any way of showing you? Right, there you go. Lower ATR. So we talked about this on Friday in the Discord. I've just shut the Discord down accidentally. And then All right, there's Foster Scott. Trapping buys, he's talking about getting short already. I actually go out for a walk. So there you go. This is the advantage of being in the room with one of the mentors. Gets short, has his TPs, knows where he's looking for. And then where do I get short? Someone comes in there with me. Yeah, DJ joins and we start shorting the bounce. All right, looking for short extensions. And then you go. So we turn this into supply. Looking to short side pops for failures, 25,000 big levels. So we talk the whole thing through, all right? And they're the whole time talking about where we're looking to cover. There's the higher time frame algo. TP 90 points. There you go. Me talking about higher time frame algo, 5-day. No shorting lows. Talk about where people will get stuck, and then they start getting stuck, and we're completely out. All right. So that is no different to what we're doing today. Still in this long, by the way, looking for this to keep going. Right? It's the same premise. Think about this today. Dum, 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 dum. Wash, bid back up. All right? It's the same thing. Where do they get trapped? They chase the lows. Shorts chase the lows. Buyers might chase here, but we are high time frame. The difference is we're high time frame bullish. We want to trade long. In this environment, we're trying to trade long. All right. Luminous Blank, like the stream and subscribe because wow. Is it your first time here, Luminous? It's the first time I see your name. If you've been here before, I do apologize. So higher time frame now, what would you like to see? You'd like to see some form of quasi basically built out. All right, you want to see acceptance above value on the day. We're very thin up here. Think about the volume up here. We're really thick here, and we're thick here as a profile. Up here we're thin, so if we can find acceptance, you know, above 70s, we're going to go. But your TP is really, your first TP is here, isn't it? Because we cannot guarantee that bulls want to step in up here. We can't guarantee that. What we can guarantee is shorts got stuck here and we're going to come to here. At this point, we just don't know. If we're going to be in a rotational day, you know where we're going to rotate from, here to here. All right, IB low to VWAP. VWAP is not yet going to get to IB high because we haven't got acceptance over all this volume. All right. 30 minutes left here, folks. Remember, we can move up to a 5 minute. You can see, all right, the 5 minute today. Again, everything has remained bullish. All right, just think about this 21-200, the relationship. All right, 5 minute 21. It's above the 200. Dips today into 200. Surprise, surprise, got absorbed. All right, so what you're looking for is to see if we can find acceptance here to go higher. Otherwise, we're just going to be boxed in, and they're going to keep rotating. And what do we do when we rotate? We build traders trapped into the market. Now, we will either abuse those traders today or tomorrow, either be this afternoon or tomorrow, but they will get abused. All right, they will get abused. They don't understand, they're going to get hurt. VIX just filled its gap, by the way. All right, VIX now completed its gap fill to PDC. And the ES is trying to find some acceptance over some volume that's built out this morning. Trying to find acceptance there. So failing up there, no acceptance over value. Back to point of control. If we zoom in here, I'd say there's a bit of a shelf here starting to develop where we get thin right here. So 59.60. Failing of that, we probably come straight back down, 10 points back down, and there's volume in here. I don't really want to trade in here now. I don't really want to trade in here. I don't like taking rotations, and many of you will know that. I don't like taking rotations. I like taking trends. So I need to see acceptance here or right down here again and a replay back up. But I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see this today or a base above. I don't think we're going to get a collapse. It's not looking like there's any reason for the mag to collapse, and my bias remains upside or rotation. I've got to sort my posture out. Time for a new chair, I think. I'll have to get a cushion here. Give me a second. There we go. Same thing here, folks. Not really moving much. Still looking for the same things. If we can get an extension, fantastic. If we don't, we don't. If we fail, we fail. I don't need this delta on. Do you guys want this on? I don't need this. It doesn't. These candles are so good up here. Sati's done such a good job of this that there's very rarely a discrepancy between his volume candle and delta. It's pretty impressive. But if you want it, we can leave it. What I'd prefer is delta down the side. I haven't been able to find one yet on TradingView. So I'd prefer like a volume profile down here, which then like has big delta here. So I want to build something like that says, hey, we've got offside delta down here, and this is where shorts are trapped. It's just offside volume. It's just another way of putting it, really. It's just this down here, knowing that these are sellers. Because most time you'll see this here, and in your head you'll be like, oh, there's lots of buying down there. That's not actually what it is. It's actually sellers stuck. All right, so you've got a passive buyer down there. I can't even spell that. Passive. What's the worst A known to man? Passive buyer down here. So he's a limit order buyer. Just sit there accumulating, and you've got market sellers, and that's why we move away. Still look good. This looks like it's trying to go. It's trying to go. ATR declining? Yes, it is declining. I mean, it's been declining since really since 10 o'clock. Even in this move, it was declining though. All of this is declining volume. No one wants to trade in here, basically. No one wants to trade in here. People are too smart. Oh, getting old. My back's hurting. 40s hurt. 40s hurt. My back's worse and worse every day. ES looks like it's going to go IB to IB. Honestly, ES is a wild one today. ES is very close to the initial balance high up here. It's got volume built out here at 86. If it gets through that, it should get to 88.75. So it's only got to do, I don't know, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 ticks. 11 ticks to IB high on the ES. We've got to do 60 points. Thank you. 60 points. AMD starting to base out. That's what I want to see. Come on, AMD. Base out for a session or two. ALB absolutely going. Messaging my old man now. What a trade on ALB. Buzzing with that. Still got room. What did I note down last night in bed that I wanted to look at? Where are my notes? Oh, let's see. What's that looking like today? No. Sorry, folks. Give me a second. What was the other one I wanted? Right. Come on, Trading View. Nice. Gotta wait for that. Come back in. It's a good hold today, though. Sorry, folks. You can see you getting to see how my brain works when I'm looking for swings. I just got to notify some guys in Discord and make sure you guys are taking some profits in case you're not trading live with me here. What a move. What a move. Killer. What a beautiful play. All right, looks like more range rotation. Still not got enough liquidity to move higher at the moment. Done for the day. Yeah, take care, Peter. Yeah, not too much to play with today. I think we've done the best we could. I think you guys took the shorts. We talked about the shorts today. Right here. Right, we can go over the plays. Right, at this point you had trap buyers stuck above here. Right, very, very simple. There's the trade below. Once they got stuck, that was your short trigger back down. I was focused on the longs, so I took longs. Why is that moved? Oh, it's here. Previous day value area high, so I took longs on recovery here. Didn't trade the short, waited again, let them trap, and took the same level long again. And trying to see if we can get any more move upside right now. That's it. Those are the only plays really to have today. I'd say that short, and then long and long, all these trades out. That's it. Pretty simple day, not much to play with. Those are the moves. Let's see if we can get acceptance above here. See a seller here into 180. He's been here all morning. Right? He's been here all morning. He added back in size about. He came on the book at 10 o'clock and he's been here ever since. And he's started adding more size. We've got a player above. I just see it. 225s above. Is that all-time high now? No. Is that pivot? Yes. IB high. Okay, so there is a seller at IB high looking to get filled if we can get up there. Took the Alex pattern long 2. Took advantage of the trap shorts. Love it, Lee Kim. Nice work. Nice work. Leave this up for you so you guys can see. I mean, even this here, even if you're trading the 5 minute, there's your inside bar. expansion. We're just given another inside bar. Hopefully we can get expansion up to here. That would be ideal. Not going to guarantee it today because we've been a bit sluggish, but we're trying. We are trying. And this feels like last week, doesn't it? Like so slow. This is incredibly slow. Very, very, very slow. Very hard to hold on to these. Right, at some point we might get a little pop and come back down. These are tight ranges, 70s to, look at that, 20-point ranges again. We're into these 20, we keep talking about it. We do 60-point shoves. What's this, 30? Yeah, pretty good. 60, that was actually 70 points. 70-point shoves into 20-point ranges. 70-point shoves into 20-point ranges. It's all NQ will do at the moment. I don't know why, but it's all it's got. You got the long on NQ2, also took the long on the Dow. Nice, Troy. Good work. Yeah, lots of you should have made money today. Lots of you should have made money today. Not a huge amount necessarily, but you should be up. Here we go. That 180 seller just got taken out. Did we actually fill all of him here? 85, and yeah, he's been taken out. Nice. Gonna get out of here in 15 minutes. Anything you guys want me to go over before we go, let me know. Otherwise, we will be back tomorrow. Just looking for the same setups. Same setups. Ideally, we get a nice trend day at some point. Still looks good. ES is going for IB to IB. All right, so just be careful. If ES takes the IB and then fails, just be careful. So I'm just signing my funding ticks contracts here for Rise. It's the first time having to do it with them. That's that one done. What's it missing then? Job done. Nice. Yeah, let's go. Here we go. All right, previous week high. Beautiful. All right, I'm moving my stop right up now. Beautiful. Here's previous week high. Then we're going to look for New York Open and initial balance high. This is why we focus pro trend. So what did I say? We'll probably see a swipe at some point. Need to take some profits into that because if they can't sustain this, right, this will be the stop hunt swipe and they'll just come back into this annoying range again. This is where we failed from this morning. If we get acceptance over previous week high, if we can, Nvidia's starting to find a bid, as is Apple. So the whole market is green other than Nvidia and Apple, or market say the Mag 7. They're both about 1/3% down. If they can find bids and acceptance, there's possible we get up to that New York Open. But we're starting to hit these TPs here now, folks. Starting to hit these TPs now. It required so much patience today. I was determined to play edge to edge today. Here we go. Initial balance now taken on ES. Just be aware of that. We should continue squeezing here. I want to see ES break through 90s and trade up to north 94s. So previous week high, the old all-time high taken. Your next levels are the New York Open. That would be the blue line on your chart. 214s. And then IB high, 221s. And then all-time high, 241s. Okay, and if I'm going to think about an extension for the afternoon, give me a second. I'm going to give you two possible levels. We can go from here, and we can go from New York. Trading view. All right, so if we're going to get acceptance and extensions, I'll be looking for these. Right, 291, you might as well call that 300. All right, so 75 and then 300 is how I'd remember that. 75 and 300, and if we do a measured move, 25.35, and up here 25.37. What was the number that I gave out on the newsletter as potential drive higher? I'm going to have to find it. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. It was 25,400. Bulls reclaim and build acceptance over 25,050. The door will open to 25,400. All right. That's literally word for word what I said. If bulls reclaim acceptance over 25,050, which is not even been tested today, we've comfortably held it. All right. We're 50 points above it. Guess what we came and tested overnight? Hello. Hello, what was the newsletter? If we hold this, we're going to 400s. Literally the newsletter. If we hold this, we're going to 400s. It was in the newsletter. If you're trading London session, you're lucky. I literally gifted that move to you if you read the newsletter. All you have to do is sign up for a free newsletter and read it. It doesn't cost you anything. Links are in chat if you're not already doing it. All right, links are in chat. Looking good here. Looking good for that New York Open. Looking good here. You guys want a giveaway, do you? We can do a giveaway. We need... Well, I'm going to say we need 10 more likes. We want to get to 125. Get to 125 likes, we'll do a giveaway. Nice, Lou Riley. Good work. Here we go. Let's go, baby. You know what we say? Come to Papa. Come to Papa. Come to Papa. Squeeze the little shorts. Little shorts getting squeezed. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Give me the money. Right. Same play every day. It's been the same play since March. All right. The play has been trap shorts go higher. That's been the play in the market. It's very, very, very simple. Come to Papa. I always think of like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. What's the like German guy called? Oh, the nougat! Give me the nougat! I want the nougat! All right, baby. Let's get going. Let's get going. If I clap, it will happen. Come to Papa! Come to the Papa! New York Open coming up here, and then 22. So you're looking for TP, sort of 14, 15s, and then 22s, and then we're looking for extensions, man. We're looking for extensions through the all-time highs. Here we go, baby. New York Open, very, very close to getting tagged there. Maybe a tick away. Augustus Group. Yeah, that's right. Augustus Group. Oh, Augustus. I'm such an idiot. Okay. We're getting extended here. Nothing wrong with taking some profit off here. We're getting extended. Would not be surprised to see this pullback before having another attempt. You never know. We might keep going. We might get lucky here. If they turn on the Jets, then we might get lucky here. AMD's based out and finding a bid. I love it. Love to see it. Love to see it. Okay, I'm going to pee and then come back, and then hopefully we're at all-time highs. That'd be nice. All right, pulling back to that previous week high and those flow zones. ES did take the initial balance. Need to be careful here if they fail to get acceptance over it. We still think we want to go higher here. It looks pretty good to me. Liquidity up at 15s, which is just above that New York Open. I'd love to just see us get up to that IB high. I just know that ES has taken it, so I am somewhat aware of that. So yeah, we need a few more likes here, folks. We need to get up to 125. 125 likes would give away a free Apex account any size. One more squeeze market. Go on. Just put the jets on for me. Put the jets on for me. Let's go. Get through that New York Open. Let's go, baby. Come on. Come on. Come on. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Give me a big shove. Just give me a massive shove up. Boom candle. Give me a boom candle through the 15s. Come on, take this guy out. Just absolutely whack him. Slap him on his head. Give me that boom. Sonic boom. What do I have to say to make it do it? Guys, make it do it. Come on. Say the magic words. Getting stuck in front of him. We're front selling this New York Open at the moment. I just want that one big boner candle for the runner to work. Maybe I'm just asking too much here. I'm just thinking one big rip your face candle would be nice. Be careful with ES up here. A bit frothy. Here we go. Come on, now's your time. You can do it. Go, 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 go. Stop stuttering up here. Stop stuttering up here. What's Fix doing there under PDC? I'll stay under that. Got to stay under that. How long we got left? 4 minutes. So I don't really want to hold this into lunch because I don't want them to collapse back to value. So I'm looking for this to happen sooner rather than later. Otherwise, if we don't get... Oh, of course I can't draw. Oh, no. Don't do that. I'm just looking for one more rippy up here. Otherwise, we're so thin in this move up. It can definitely come back into this area. So just want one more rippy to get Selma runner out of. Don't really want it to drop below here. It might well drop below here now if it can't do this move soon. I don't really want to hold for this in lunch. I'd like to go and get a coffee, go and get some food, walk my dog, get a workout in and be done for the day. Go on, market. Come on. Pay the team because we've been waiting for this all day. We've been patient. We deserve it. We've been snipers in the market. We earned the right to sit in this trade and have it rip some faces. So go and do it for us. Squeeze them shorts for us. Pay my team who are learning to be patient with me. There's New York Open. Get through this. Come on. Please bid up. Please. One big squeeze. Please. Oh, if we start having any sentiment of sell here, I'm going to take it off, folks, because I don't really want to give back all the way down to sort of 87, 90s, which is where it probably might need to come down to, or even 80s. I'm not going to let it do that because it's taken all day to get up here. What a beautiful trade. What a beautiful trade. I had a go at it here, but once we trapped here, this was absolutely delicious. All right, the first position is actually very early for me, but I just felt good about this today, playing the edge. This is TP, and I've added in, so my average is not here. My average is now around here. All right, and my stop is definitely not there anymore. It's more like that, but to give you an idea. Almost there, folks. We're almost there. I remember through IB high, we're looking at this level here. So let's mark this out. Right? We want to take that out. And if we get lucky, if you get really lucky today, you'll get 400s. But I don't think it's going to come today unless they turn the volume on. The volume has not been turned on. Remember, this can very, very easily come back down into range. So you've got to be paying yourself some here, especially we've built this out now. Any failure under that, I think it can easily return down here. And that might be a 2-leg to then go up later, which is fine. But I'm not going to be here to trade that. I'm going to take the afternoon off, I think. Nice, Jeff. Yeah, let me know. W's in chat if you traded any of this long with me today, whether you got that first position that I took or whether you traded, you know, these pullbacks here, any of these. It's a bit riskier here, but this was good. See, once we got acceptance over here, look how quickly that happened. The moment we based over there, those shorts got stuck. So W's in chat if you got any of this with me. Lots of you got it. Haresh, Troy, Bradley, the Richardsons, Stephen, Marek, Phenom, John, Lee, Kim, Richard, Noah, Mike. Yeah, lots of W's. Don't want to see this fail here. I will take my runner off. Even though I think we will keep going later, I just don't want to sit. We're into lunch. So any failure below that wick, which is probable, I will just take the runner off, and that's okay. It is what it is. I'm not going to be greedy. Noah got it. Nice. One-on-one got it. Mike got it. Slow Stoke got it. Mrs. Freeze 84. Ron. Nice work, team. Be careful here. I'm watching the VIX at PDC. I don't want VIX to reclaim PDC. Let's go, AMD. Let's go. Base that bitch out and let's start putting the burners on, man. All right, that was amazing. So at the moment I signed those Rise forms, they paid me. So Funding Ticks is getting A+ award from Alex. That is fantastic. Job done. Thank you, Funding Ticks. What a great service. Fantastic service. Big W for Funding Ticks. We need one more like. Yeah, one more like. We're there. One more like. One of you hasn't hit that like button. Hit that like button, and we're going to give away an Apex account. Let's get to 125 likes, folks. Help me out. Look at that, 131 likes. All right, well done, team. Thanks for tuning in with me today. Thanks for joining the stream. Thanks for being patient. Hopefully, I'm definitely some new guys here. Hopefully with me today, you learn, all right? You will see, I will always call out what's setting up, and I always tell you whether I'm taking it or not. We knew that this was setting up. I told you I'm going to focus on the pro trend, right? We knew that this was likely today. Lots of you took that short. It's a great trade, right? Flow zones give you that trade short, all right? I'm waiting for this long, all right? That's what I'm waiting for because the pro trend is long, right? So I want to do this, all right? I'm looking for a pullback to get long into. We talked about it at the very open of today. That's what I wanted. You are always welcome to play that counter trend short for that pullback. It's just a harder trade, all right? It's harder to time, but it's actually quite nice today. They rejected really, really nice. Didn't have an NQ overspill and overrun. So Nick got it. Kamal got it. Took the long to slight. I was slightly late, but it worked like a charm. Nice. All right, let's do this giveaway. Let's do this giveaway, team. Make sure you've locked some in here, or at least move your stop up. Okay, so if you're a regular here or a VIP or subscriber, well, you're all subscribers, otherwise you can't enter. All right. D-Day, you got to wait because I've got to set it. It won't work until I said it, all right? Go, 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 all right? FZT is the key word. FZT will get you 80% off Apex right now. It will get you the best possible discount on all your prop firms, right? FZT. Type it in chat. You only need to type it once, and we'll do a pull. The only prop firm which doesn't use FCT is Take Profit, and you can use Flowzone for that, all one word. All right, so I'm out of this now, folks. Like I said, I think this is probable that it needs to come back and test this kind of area where we broke out from. I don't want to sit through all this and play this. It might need one of these before going higher, but I'm not going to sit in this over lunch. So I'm out of this now, just being honest with you. And we'll give you a couple minutes to all enter. Vic's trying to reclaim PDC here, like I talked about as well. All right, so you can see how I trade, what I'm looking at, the levels, the confluence. That's what gives me the confidence when to take trades and when not to. Great day. Great day. I mean, it's not an epic day, but I think, you know, when we're getting... It's not bad, is it? 60 odd points, maybe 70 odd points. In a day where most of the range was 30 points, I think we've overachieved here, folks. I think that is a fantastic effort. Fantastic effort. I don't know what Paul's typing. You're typing the time in. Can't do much with that, mate. Tywood, what do I think is the prob is that it trades below the breakout range? What's the probability that it trades underneath value? I'd say it could easily come under value because the main support system is right here, which is actually underneath. So if you see where we get thick, right? If you think about this as an under-over, think how many times we've traded in this area, which is why it's point of control. All right, so I'd say this, sort of 170 to 160, that 10-point range is key. It might offer a two-leg down to hit. It might not. Right, if we got a 5-minute imbalance there, we do. It might just dip into this imbalance and keep going. All right, it might not need to come deep. I don't know. It's just because it's in lunch, I'm less interested. But you see this imbalance right here, and you'll see that will be thin here. There you go, thin in here. So bulls are protecting that. It might just keep going here. It's very possible, very, very possible. My bias is upside. I just don't want to sit here all day. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, looks like most of you are in. So let's roll a winner here. Whoever wins this is going to get a free Apex account of your choice. Here we go. Winner is CMR. CMR, you can see Nightbot's just announced it. CMR. So let me know that you're in chat. Are you in chat? Make yourself known if you're in chat. There he is. CMR, congratulations. You won a free Apex account. What I need you to do is email me. Email me info@flowzonetrader.com and just send me a screenshot of the back end of your YouTube so I know it's you, and I will sort you out with a code so that you can get a free Apex account. How many of you joining today were new on stream? How many of you was it your first time on stream trading with me out of interest? Stephen, new here. Did you make money, Stephen? Or did you learn how I trade? Hopefully you did. First time for you as well, CMR. Look at that. First time here and wins a free account. Nice, Stephen. Nice to hear. The Richardsons, first time here as well. Lovely. Good to have you here, folks. Good to have you here. Monday to Friday, I'm here. Every single day. 9:15 New York time, we do the pre-market analysis into 9:30, and then we trade it together. Me, the first trade similar to me. Same. Well, we trade similar ways, Caesar. That's great. That's great. That's fantastic. All right, folks, that's about it for us today. We've gone over the extensions. You know what you're looking for. You know those pullback areas. Where I would be very, very careful, right? Where I'd be very, very careful. Do not have too much of a bias. If we get stuck here and do not show strength to bid out of this area, then this will just be a rotational day from where? From initial balance to VWAP, from VWAP to IB high. We didn't take it, but on ES, we did take it. This can come back to VWAP. If we don't bid off VWAP, then we're going to go back to the IB low, all right? We are technically in a range rotation day, right? In case you don't understand, I will move to ES just so you can see this. All right, here's your IB low. The purple lines on your screen are your initial balance. These are your rotations. We've just traded from IB low to VWAP, from VWAP to IB high. If we fail IB high, we will trade back down to VWAP. There they will try and find a bid. If they fail that bid, they will come to IB low. What is the one thing I do not like down here? Anyone that trades with me regularly, what happened or did not happen down there, which would give me a little red alert, just a little bit down here, which I'm slightly concerned about. What did we fail to do down here? Does anyone understand that? Be the one thing that would slightly concern me. We left liquidity, exactly, Miguel. We did not fill this gap. We got very close, but we did not fill it. So just be aware, ES has had relative weakness all day. This is somewhat dangerous, all right? There has not been a sweep in here, okay? If this wants to fail, it has not filled this obligation down here. It's yet to do it. So just be aware of that for those of you who are trading ES, right? NQ looks a little bit better. Just check the liquidities. Could definitely do the same. We did do an internal sweep here, a tiny internal sweep here. We've left this, so same kind of thing. NQ's, I don't think we fill the gap on NQ. It would require you to trade all the way down here. So I'd be focused on upside if it can build out new structure. So effectively, I'd be focused on upside if we can build out structure around here. Right, if it fails to do that, we'll rotate. I'll just leave that alone. All right, team. I see you all tomorrow. Those in Discord, we will chat in Discord this afternoon. I'm going to take a break for a bit. If you're new to the stream, you like how I trade and you want to learn more, head over to flowzonetrader.com. All right, you can join the community there. You have to do the course, and the community is free, and the indicators. Code FCT will get you 10% off over there at the moment. If you're interested in anything from today, all the links are down below. I will be back tomorrow morning before the open. We'll do pre-market analysis as always. Peace and love. Be kind to each other. Remember, be kind and use hard stops. For goodness sake, you don't know when some headline's going to drop right now. You got to have hard stops in. All right, team. Big love. See you tomorrow.